Hey there, everyone. Just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about trust. And no, it is not easy to trust. It is not easy to trust ourselves as parents. It is not easy to trust our kids. It's not easy to just trust and let things flow. But I get that. It's not always easy to do that. Sometimes I feel like trusting takes away the I don't want to say control, that's not the right word I'm looking for. Trusting in something other than the mind takes away the I can't think of a word because it doesn't take away from anything. It is the way. But I understand that sometimes we feel like that's not the way. But trusting in that stirring we feel inside, trusting in the idea that we create this movie that we call our life, in every thought that we think, in every feeling that we feel, in every word that we say. And I know that's so cliche because everybody's saying that now, but I mean, if every speck of everything in the world is information and energy, then that means every thought and every word and every speck of every feeling is really creating our life. Every prayer we say, every word we say, everything. That doesn't mean that we have to be psychoprotective of what we're saying and doing. It just means to be to pay attention. Yeah, to pay attention. I used to call this faith, and I guess it is faith, and it's the same thing. It's faith, it's allowing, it's being, it's believing. But honestly, it's even more than that. It's conscious choice and attention, and also intention. You know, my neighbor gave me this, and I love it. Oh, you probably can't see it. It's probably backwards, but it says, create your best life. Live with intention. Yeah, okay. So, anything that I'm sharing with you, I'm telling myself too. Especially this, because I remember so many years ago, my daughter was like 2 or something, and I remember people telling me this, create your intention for the day, create your thoughts and really pay attention. And I thought, what are you talking about? It was just it was so frustrating. I used to get so angry and so frustrated and so sad about it because I would obsess and say, well, if I'm not positive, I'm making a mess of my life. But that's not true. It's not. Having a negative, if we call it negative, having a thought that we perceive as negative, or having a negative feeling like sadness or anger, it actually propels parts of us to change. It propels energy to shift. Because we're always on the right path, always, no matter what. And this goes for our kids, for us as parents, for us as single people, single parents, older people, young people. We're always on the right journey, always. It doesn't always feel that way, but we are. So, gosh, I think I kind of went off my original topic. I don't even remember what I started saying to you when I got on here, but this is what I'm going to follow. So I'm going to just follow the flow here and say that what about if we just allowed ourselves to feel those so-called negative feelings and honor them and sort of just be in that for a moment? And then move past that to the next most amazing thing that's going to come from that. Because I believe that the reason why we and our children or anyone continue to have repetitive actions or choices or thoughts that are not beneficial or that are creating stressful environments or moments is because we're not actually embracing that moment and loving it and allowing us to move through it to the next beautiful rainbow. That's what I believe, because I have experienced that time and time again, over and over and over. So I can give you many, many, many examples. So for, for children in my classroom, children that I've worked with, it takes a little bit of time. It doesn't happen 1, 2, 3. It takes a little bit of time and loving effort, loving of just being okay with that, So children who were really, really, so there was a student who was really angry, really, really angry. They really angry. They had a lot going on at home that was not in their best interest. So they would come to school really angry. This was a second grader, and he had a brother, and they were both in my class, and they were both very angry. And so, we would continue to do our processes of meditation and our class meetings and our, sharing and connecting and moving through our day the way that I created the environment with them. And eventually the boy began to hug others in the class and hug people in the hallway. And one day I was just talking. We were doing a lesson on this. I just said, "Why are you feeling so happy to hug? What's changed?" He said, "I love myself." Like, he looked at me like, "What do you mean?" "I love myself." And I thought, So I said, "Okay, that's great. That's fabulous. Like, I'm so happy you love yourself. I love you too, And then he said, "Oh, because I can be angry and that's okay." And because he can be angry and it's okay. So letting him be angry, because he would be very angry. And because I gave him the space, the class gave him the space, his parents gave him the space to be angry. They learned this from him, that he was able to just go to the little space that we had in our classroom. And if he was angry, he could go there and just be angry. Allowed himself to just feel it. And then he would come out better, feeling better. He might still have a little bit of residue of anger, but as he did this, it started to change things and shift, And I remember by December that he was hugging people. It's just the allowance, I get it. It's the more that we focus on it's not easy, the more it's going to be not easy. So let's just take a step and say, it's okay. We can kind of move through our stuff and know that when we come out of that, there's going to be this amazing, beautiful rainbow. It happens every single time. And I know when I'm in the moment of the crazy or the frustration or the sadness or fear, I think, oh, it's going to be like this forever. And when am I ever going to get out of this? It just happens less and less now. But to me, or through me, or for me. And then when I move through it, when I finally allow the feeling, the big feeling, and I just feel it for like a minute, and then I go into that, okay, I'm going to allow you to be here. I'm going to allow myself to feel this. This is the talk I say to myself. This is kind of what I say. So this morning I was feeling some anxiety and fear about life, and just feeling like there are some changes, and I was afraid because change is scary sometimes. And so it just wasn't what I planned, I guess, right? So I was sitting here in this chair actually before my first little class that I do in the mornings, and I just said, you know what, Adrienne, I love you. You're really amazing and awesome. Just allow yourself to feel this. And then I said, okay, I'm just going to feel you, anxiety. I allow you to be here. It's okay. And I felt it rise up, and I felt it for like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and it was not pleasant. And then I felt it like going away. It just started to go away, just like that. And then I felt peace. And I felt happy, and I wanted to dance around, but I couldn't because it was time to do class. So when I get off of here, I'm going to dance around. But I tell you this because it can be that simple. And how did I get to it to be that simple? Meditation, being with the feelings, moving through by journaling, all the things, all the tools that I've been sharing with you as much as I can. But in this moment, today, I just allowed it to be there. And sometimes it's longer than 20 seconds. Sometimes, man, it's big and I just got to cry through it. And that's okay. And I allow myself. And I allow my daughter, and I allow clients and children to do that. Sometimes, the clients don't want to do that with me. They want to feel their feelings with their family. Okay, great. But I'm sharing this with you because it is okay to feel your feelings. So my point of all of this, I guess, is that if we don't let our kids feel their feelings, it's going to perpetuate it and continue and create bigger situations and more of them. And they're going to show up in different ways. And we don't like it. It's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. But it will happen less and less and less and less and less in intensity if we just start to allow it and hold that space for them. And I don't only mean our kids, I mean you too. Whether you're a parent or not, if you just allow yourself your feelings, like I truly believe that we get hooked on addictions like the internet or going on our phone all the time, texting or watching TV, the binge watching TV, or drinking or eating a lot. Like that's what I'll turn to. I'll turn to like, I'm hungry. I'm going to go get some M&Ms. Like that's what I would turn to. I want some ice cream. Or I'll turn to avoiding, like I'll go talk to my friend on the phone or something. That's when I know, okay, I need to go in. I need to spend time with myself again and allow what needs to come up and out to come out. And I'll get all kinds of information. And I'll learn things about myself. So I'll have like a tea ceremony with a friend and I'll do meditation. Or I will meditate with myself and listen to amazing music. Or I'll go out to the gardens and just be there and allow myself to be. Or I'll journal. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways. And I'm absolutely thrilled and ready to share all of them with you. This is why I'm doing these videos, so that I can put out some ideas and support people, or let people know that I get it, because I'm supporting myself as I do this too. And that I have been doing this with children for many, many years, and starting with my daughter when she was 3 and she is 15, but also doing the work with me. So as you do this work with your children, you're doing it with yourself. As you do this work with yourself, it is also affecting your children in a good, positive way, as well as others in your life. So there's only benefit to any of this. And I call it meditation and mindfulness, but it really is empowerment, because there's so many different ways. There's no one way to do any of this. So you're doing the empowerment work, the inner empowerment work, through different ways. It could be through yoga. I do Kundalini yoga, actually, and Kundalini meditation. Yeah, I'd be happy to share that with you too. It's amazing to see the difference in just a week of Kundalini yoga or Kundalini meditation, just like 20, 30 minutes a day. Fabulous changes. Yeah. So, yeah, if you're feeling like it isn't easy, take some time. Call into work one day. Leave work early half a day. Go for a walk. Have some tea. Drink your coffee outside. Take 15 to 30 minutes every day. Get up a little bit earlier for quiet in the house. And then approach your day. Now for your kids, they need this too. They do. Take them outside. And don't have like structured play. Just let them run crazy. Let them have some fun, right? Or do some art. Be creative with them. And let them have free creation. Let them create whatever and however they want. Ask them what will give them some freedom. Yeah. Let them take a day off of school. It's really okay. You know? I mean, we think about that for a minute. We work through school thinking and believing, I should say, believing. And this is where the problem is, because the beliefs and thinking is in our mind. It's not our knowing. That's part of it right there. When we keep thinking and believing this, like, well, some of our beliefs are our knowing, yeah. But when we're thinking, it's just thoughts that are not necessarily our own thoughts. So we got to tune into our own inner beingness, our own inner knowing to get the real truth for ourselves, right? But think about this, or feel about this, or just listen for a sec. We go to school and we are told that if we get really good grades, we have to do really great in school. We have to do great on our tests because that helps us get into a great college, because it helps us get a great job when we graduate. Well, I can tell you that I don't know that many people who were valedictorians in high school and college that have an amazing job and an amazing life. Maybe it's true. I'm sure it is. Maybe it is true. There are people who did that and have an amazing life. I actually know more people who have an amazing life who didn't focus so much on that. Because no one in college asked me about my elementary or middle school grades. No one in college wanted to see anything, my transcripts. I mean, just to get in. But once I was in, and I didn't even do well, and I still got into college. So I guess I'm just saying we put such pressure and emphasis on this, and it's not for our own doing. It's not for our own benefit. The pressure is put on us for a different reason. And then we put it on ourselves and on our children. And you can figure out what the reason is. But it isn't for our own benefit. We just think so because that's what we're told. That is my honest to God truth. Now, it doesn't mean that we're not learning something. It doesn't mean that we're not having a good experience and that we're not gaining knowledge and growth from these experiences of doing well in school. Okay? But it's not a precursor to doing well in life. It's not. I mean, it's benefit. It helps. It also doesn't really make a difference because everybody is different. And I can tell you that I know people who didn't do well in school at all, who actually flunked out of college and are doing amazingly well in life. So it had nothing to do with doing well in school. I'm just saying the pressure and the goal, the pressure, the goal, our goal should not be about pressuring ourselves into doing well on tests. Our goal should be about enjoying where we are and having the desire to do well because it feels good. That's what I feel would be better, and among other things. So if we feel like it's hard, then our perspective could shift in that area by seeing it a different way or finding a new way to approach something that we think is hard. And finding a way to feel into that, or allowing ourselves, if we're feeling angry and frustrated, like so many children I know, because of the pressure, how about we let them feel what they want to feel? How about we say, if they say, well, I hate it. I just hate it. Why don't we just say it's okay that they hate it instead of trying to change how they feel about it? And then once I hate it, and they move through that and they have their feelings, then we work through seeing it a different way. Let's find another way to see this. What are the amazing possibilities out there for you in this circumstance that you could love right now? I mean, there are so many, thank you, Kitty. There are so many ways to approach this differently with our kids and ourselves. Maybe you hate something at work, and hate is a strong word. If your kids are using that word, or if you are, there's something that you can move through. So allow yourself to feel that. And then ask yourself to allow yourself to feel that. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to stomp your feet, go for a long drive, do it. And once you move through it and it lifts, that hate and that anger and that sadness and stuff lifts off of you, which it will, and you know that, then this new beautiful space will be there. And when this new beautiful space is there, then you can ask yourself, what now? What amazing thing is going to show up now? Instead of going back and focusing on what you hated. What amazing experience is going to show up now? What's the possibility for me here? What's the possibility for my child here now? What amazing thing is going to happen now that they've moved through that emotion? Those emotions, maybe there's more than one. But if we don't ever allow ourselves or our kids to feel that, it just stays there. It's just there. And it continues in this awful cycle. So that's my tidbit this morning. And I hope it's helpful. And let me know if you would like some more clarity on that or any other ideas, or if you just want to chat. I am readily available and happy to connect with you. I'm telling you that this makes a difference. Your life will shift for you and your children. It does take a little bit of time and effort at first, but once you get it and once they get it, because it's not hard for them, they'll get it and then they'll do it all the time without realizing that they're doing it. They'll do all this work. They'll just start shifting. It's harder for the grown-ups to get. But I'm telling you, it makes a big, huge difference. One of my clients right now is not needing to pay attention. She's just shifting through things and seeing things differently, different perspective now. After 12 weeks. That is like the key. That's what I've noticed. Like in the classroom, it took till October, about 12 weeks. And I would see, okay, things are shifting. People are doing this on their own. They're helping each other. That's what I noticed. And so that's why my package is a 12-week package. And I have other sessions available as well that work too. It takes a little longer and a little bit more effort through the other packages, or sessions, I should say, that are one session at a time, things like that. But you can do that with consistency too. But it just makes a difference. I'm here to tell you that it's powerful stuff. And whatever I'm sharing with you, I am also using and living. So, I'm not here to say that I know everything about what I'm sharing with you. I just know what I've lived through. I know what I've experienced. I know what has worked and what I've seen that has made a difference. I have lived it, so I know. It's worked with me, worked with my children and children that I've taught. And, I just know because I've seen it and experienced it. So that's why I'm sharing it with you. So I'm going to go off here and start my day, and I hope that your day is the most amazing one that you have had in a long time, so that that can continue for you. And so ask yourself today, what is the most amazing thing that can happen today? And tell your children to focus on that. What's the most amazing thing that's going to happen? It could happen the next second, right around the corner. Something amazing is going to show up. Everything that I notice is amazing. You start thinking and talking and feeling in that perspective. I don't like to use the word thinking, but it works because we change the little pathways in our brain. We undo the patterns. It's pretty deep stuff, and it works. And I hope that it's helpful to you. Please let me know. You can go to achildslight.live. You can message here. You can email me at on my website. I will post it too. And you can even give me a call or send me a text. My number's on my Facebook page. Just reach out. I'm so excited to touch base and connect with people about all different kinds of scenarios that are going on in their lives. And just I'm noticing that people are saying thank you, and thank you. They're thanking me for putting myself out there, but thank you for showing up and trying different things and trying the empowered way through life, because that is the way. Inner empowerment is the answer. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will talk to you next time. Bye now.